So regarding echo, what we had explained, so we need to consider a open space here regarding echo. Now regarding the reverberation, we are considering a closed room. We need to consider a closed room here. That is the first important point you need to consider. Closed space or closed room. Okay. So this is reverberation, this is echo. Now regarding echo, what we had explained, suppose if you are there in the open space, you are standing here, and if there is a wall here, and if you are making any sound, it will travel in this direction, and this wall is going to reflect, and that particular sound will reach you once again. Okay. Now this is the echo. It is a reflection of sound. So this is an obstacle or a wall here we are considering here. Now this is in a open space. Now if you are going to the closed surface or the closed area, okay, or else a room here, what we are mentioning here, okay, empty hall or else the seminar hall here, which is empty. Now if you are making a sound there, what you are going to experience, even though if you stop sounding, that sound will get reflected in multiple directions and it will reach you. So this is a time delay. There is a time delay is going on, so that the intensity of the sound which we had created, it will take certain time. So and this is one direction here, and if you are going with other directions, so you will get number of reflected sound waves like this. Okay, so now this is going to cause a phenomena, we are considering it as a reverberation. Okay, the first point is you consider the echo in the open space. Okay, just this is a reflection of sound. Reverberation is a concept going on in the closed surface or the closed area. So there you will have the multiple reflections here. Multiple reflections. So this is only a one reflection here, considering only one reflection here. Okay. Now to avoid this particular reverberation, what we are going to do? We are going to place certain objects inside the room. Okay. Now the hall is going to be filled with certain chairs. Okay. Somewhat like this, or the sitting arrangement, and here the walls will be having the windows, and here we are going to place the curtains like this, and here the door will be there. Now to avoid that, we are going to place the curtains here. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to take the measures to avoid the reverberations. Now regarding these objects, okay, what we are mentioning here, the reverberation is going to be reduced due to these objects. Now what are these objects going to do? They are going to absorb the sound here. They are absorbing the sound here. Okay, so these objects are absorbing the sound. Now these absorbing factors will depend on the material. If suppose the object is having this much of volume and second object is there this much of volume, okay, so depending on the volume here, the available surface area, so the absorbing property will also change here, that you need to find. Okay, so it depends on the surface area. Okay, and now here depending on the entire room also, the volume of the room also you need to consider how much volume of the room is there, that you need to consider. And the other factors are the frequency also. What is the frequency of the produced sound? So those are the factors we need to consider regarding these concepts. Now depending on the absorption of these objects, now what we had seen yesterday, now we had considered one of the object, and we are going to measure how much the object is going to absorb, and we are giving a physical factor known as absorption coefficient. So we had seen yesterday absorption coefficient. So what is this particular factor here? It is going to give the information about how much sound has been absorbed by that particular object. Now we had seen some alpha yesterday as the absorption coefficient, and if the value of this is some 0.5, what is the meaning of this?
0.163.
Okay, no. If the value of this alpha is some 0.5, if you got 0.5, now what is the meaning of this?
50%.
Okay, it will
50%.
be okay. If you divide this one like this, you can write this as 50%. So 50% of the sound has been absorbed by that particular material. So that's what's the reason we mentioned alpha as 0.5. Now, if an object is getting some 0.3, then it will be considered as a 30%. Okay, 30% of the sound has been absorbed by that particular material. So now, depending on that one, we are going to see once again about the previous expression here. Now, here, someone yesterday had mentioned A as a absorption coefficient. Okay, someone mentioned A as a absorption coefficient. Now, to avoid that confusion, I am going to replace alpha as A here. Okay. So yesterday I mentioned A as the absorption coefficient. Okay. Now here, let me go with this. Now let us see here. A is the absorption coefficient, and here, how can you give the absorption coefficient here? This can be given as the sound energy absorbed.
Original energy.
Okay, sound energy absorbed by the object, by the material. You take that value and you divide that one with the original value, original energy, okay, that is available. Or you can write like this, sound energy, original sound energy, that is incident. Okay, on that particular thing, other source there, whatever the thing is there that we are considering at the surface here. Okay, so that is the thing we mentioned here. So A, you can see here. So I wrote the ratio, somewhat it is not writing here. Let me go with this. Okay, now here it is not available to write. Okay, so you can observe here. So what is A here? A is the absorption coefficient. Now, how can you give here? The absorption coefficient of a material is defined as a ratio, okay, between the sound energy absorbed by the surface. So whatever the material you are taking, now it is going to absorb. Okay, that value you are considering, and you are dividing with the total energy that was the incident on the surface. Okay, now here the point is that different materials will have different absorption coefficients. Now, what are the units we are going to have for the absorption coefficient? Now, here the units will be open window units. Open window units. Simply can write this as OWU. Now, what is this concept means? Suppose you take a material. Let me go with this. Okay. Okay. Now, let us consider a window is there. So, why we are considering this as the open window units means we are going to take a reference unit here. Unit. Okay. What is a unit here? Suppose if you are going with a length, if you are going with length, we are going to take some meters. If you are going to measure this one in terms of meters, something, whatever the object is there. Suppose a scale is there. If you want to measure this one, suppose if you got some 50 centimeters, then how can you write this one? This as 0.5 meters. Okay, half meter. So here meter is the unit here regarding the length here. Similarly, the unit for the absorption coefficient, there should be some unit. Now that unit we are going to take this as a open window unit. So what is that particular open window unit? Let us see here. Now let us take a window. Take a window here. Now assume that this is a window. Now what you are going to consider? Take this length as 1 meter. And here this height as 1 meter. Or length or breadth here. Now the area of this particular open window will be 1 meter square. Okay, the area of this particular open window. Okay, is 1 meter square. So if this much of window is available, now whatever the sounds you are creating from this side, let us take this as a side 1, and that is the second side here. Side 1 here, this is side 2. Okay, now whatever the sound you are creating, and if the sound is traveling in this direction like this towards the second direction or the second part, okay, now it will travel entirely. You are not going to get any reflection or absorption, not there. There will be no reflection here. entire sound will be absorbed and it will reach in the second end. Okay, whatever the sounds are there, that will move away from the source here. So that is the reason we are going to consider 1 meter square open window. Okay, and we are considering how much energy is going to be absorbed by this particular open window. That unit as the open window unit here. Now here, if you are going to take 10 meter carpet, let us take here 10 meter carpet. Okay, so this is the open window. Now if you take some 10 meter square carpet here, now if it is absorbing the same thing, whatever the thing is going to absorb by the open window and here this one, that we will compare to understand what will be the open window unit. Okay, now here what is the thing you need to consider here? Alpha is the A is the absorption coefficient and it will be measured in terms of open window units. Instead of this particular open window units, you can substitute this as Sabine. Okay, now here if you go with force, now what will be the units here? You are going to write this as Newton. Okay, so Newton is a scientist name. Similarly here also Sabine is a scientist name. So here we are going to have the units in terms of open window units, or else you can write the same thing as Sabine here. Okay, any one of the unit you can use there. So now let us go with the measurement, how we are going to obtain the value of absorption coefficient. Okay, that we are going to see here. Now here methods of determination of absorption coefficient. Okay, now here you are having two different types of methods. Okay, there are two different methods. Now first you identify what is the difference between the first method and the second method. Now here let me write this as method 1. Now second one here, method 1 here, this one as a method 2. Now here what is the difference between the first and the second one, that let us have. Now here there will be a single source. If you can see here, I had written something here. Okay, now you can see here method 1, or else you can consider the same thing as single source method. There will be a single source. And what about the second method here? I mentioned this as a double source method. Okay, now you can write here method 1, or else you can write this as single source method. And the second method we can consider this as a double source method. Now what actually is a single source? A single source in the sense, source is nothing but it is the source which is going to create the sound. And here you will have two different sources. Okay, they are going to produce two different sounds. And here we are going to depend on only one source of sound here. Now let us go with the first method. Method 1, we are considering it as a single source method. Now let me write like this. First method here, method 1, or else single source method. Now what we are going to do? We are going to obtain the absorption coefficient here. Of a material. Okay, so by using this first method, we are going to obtain the absorption coefficient of a particular material. Now for this one, what we are going to do? Let us take a room or a hall there. Let us take a room. Okay, now we will take the same room in two different ways. Okay, now in the first way, now we will take the empty room. We will take the empty room. Okay, first point. Now what should be the second point here? Now we will take the same room. We will take the same room, but we are going to place a material. For this material, we are going to find the absorption coefficient. We need to find the A value of this material. Okay, the same room we are considering here. Room with the absorbing material here. In the first case, it is empty room. Okay, now let us take the empty room and what we are going to do. Let us see here. So in this case, previously we started with the reverberation, the concept of reverberation. Now let us consider T1 as the reverberation time. Okay, now consider here. Now we are referring to the empty room. In the empty room, we need to find the reverberation time without any source. I mean, without any object inside the room. Okay, there will be only the sound creation. You are going to create the sound and you will find the reverberation time. Now, actually, there was a formula derived by Sabine, and we will consider it as a Sabine's formula. So, depending on the Sabine's formula, we are going to have the derived equation. We are not going to see any derivation. We will take the direct derived equation, and the derived equation will be like this. Okay, the reverberation time T. It is given as. Now, I wrote here the expression here. You can identify here. It is 0.163 V. V is the capital V here. You need to identify here because we are going to get a small v also. Okay, I will write small v like this. So here it is a capital V. So what is capital V here? Capital V is the volume of the room. If you are considering this as a room here, V is representing the volume of the empty room here. Okay, now the same room we are considering. So here also the volume remains same. We are not changing the room. So in the both the cases, volume is remaining same. Okay. Now what is the change here? First case we are considering the room without any absorbing material. And in the second case we are considering the same room with one of the absorbing material here. So now here what we got here according to Sabine's formula. Sabine's formula. Okay. What we are giving here? We are giving the expression for the reverberation time. So what actually the reverberation time? Can you give what is this concept? Yesterday we had given certain explanation about reverberation time. Any answer from your side? What is reverberation time? Yesterday I mentioned the intensity and I had given a important point about this. Okay, any answer from your side?
Yeah, sir.
Initial velocity, initial intensity is I naught. Now at reverberation time, what is going to be the intensity? So if you consider the room here, okay, if you are standing here and you are creating certain sound, okay. Now the initial intensity considered as I naught, initial intensity, okay, the initial intensity of sound during creation considered as I naught. Now you stop the creation of sound. పోయింది మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడే వచ్చింది. వచ్చింది. Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now let us continue here. Now here we are referring about the reverberation time. Now this was the example that was given yesterday. Okay. Now this is the initial intensity. Now thereafter you are going to get multiple reflections, and this reflected sound will reach your ears once again. Now here the time taken by the reflected sound. Okay. Now during that particular time period, the particular value, the intensity is going to be reduced, and the value of this is going to be reduced by 1 millionth part. Okay. And what is the meaning here? If you take I naught here, you divide this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You divide with this number 10 lakh times. Okay. So we call this as the 1 millionth part, or you can write like this. It is the intensity right now. Okay. It is a time period at which the intensity is going to become this as 1 millionth part of the initial intensity. So this time we are going to consider it as a reverberation time. This is the time period at which the intensity remaining inside that particular sound wave is equal to 1 millionth part of the total intensity or the initial intensity. Okay, that we are going to consider. So that is a time period here we had mentioned. Okay, now let us continue here. So that particular reverberation time was given by Sabine. So we consider it as a Sabine's formula, and it is given as 0.163 V by sigma AS. Okay, so or else you can write the same thing as 0.163 V by capital A. Okay, now this is without any external source. I mean the absorbing material, without any absorbing material. So it is empty. So here the expression will be there like this. Okay. Now here what we are doing here, the same room we are considering, and we are placing one of the material, and consider that A1 is the absorption coefficient of this material, and we will repeat the same process. We will produce certain sound in this room, and we will try to find the reverberation time. And as this particular material is there will be a change in the reverberation time. Okay. So a small part will be absorbed by the material. So that's what's the reason you will get a change in the reverberation time. Now we are going to write the same expression, the reverberation time, and we will write this as T2. T2 is the reverberation time with the presence of absorbing material. Okay. Now we are going to write the expression as 0.163 V by, so the empty room got like this, plus, okay, you need to find here a factor is added here, plus A1S. Okay, so that we are going to consider here. So that is a factor we had added in the denominator. You need to find that one. So the same thing you can identify in the text also. Or else if you can write the first thing. So as this is A1, the surface area of this one, you can write this as S1 here. So you can write this as S1 here. Okay, to avoid the confusion. Now what you are going to take, you consider the first expression, here, and this as the second expression, equation number 2. So in this equation I will replace this as, you can replace here Okay, so here I am going to write the same thing here, sigma AS here. Okay, now considering these two equations, we are going to utilize equation 1 and equation 2, and we will take this expression here. You can refer this. Okay, yesterday we had seen about this expression here. So what we are going to take? 1 by T2 minus 1 by T1. So here what you will get here, if you are going to take this as a reciprocal of this, if you take 1 by T1, you will write this as sigma AS by 0.163 V. And regarding this 1 by T2, you can write the same thing as sigma AS plus A1 S1 by 0.163 V. Okay, now this one is bigger. Okay, the value of this one is larger here. Okay, than this one. Now you subtract the first equation here, this equation, from this equation. Okay, now what you can write here? You can write the same expression here, sigma AS plus A1 S1 by 0.163 V minus sigma AS by 0.163 V. Okay, now here you can subtract the common factor. Okay, you can remove the common factor here. Now what is the remaining here? You will get this as A1 S1 by 0.163 V. Now from this expression we are going to rearrange this one. Rearrange, and we are going to get only A1. Okay, you bring this particular factor, you bring this factor to this side here. Then what you will get? You will get this as 0.163. Okay,
3
continue. Oh,
V by
Karendra,
S.
by V by S
Yes.
into 1 by T2
1
minus
T2 minus 1 by T1.
T1. Okay, so this is the expression we got. This is for the absorption coefficient of the material that we had placed inside the room.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు అది మెథడ్ 1 కదా సార్ అది?
అవును. Okay, so this is one of the method by which we can find the absorption coefficient of a material. Now let us see the second method. Now what we mentioned here, it is known as the double source method. Okay, now what we are going to do? Now we will take the same room. We will take the same room. Let me name here. So we are going to see about the second method, method 2. Method 2, or else you can consider the same thing as double source method. Okay, now here in this particular room, we are going to place two sound sources. Okay, two different sound sources. Now, and you will repeat the experimental process. And here we are going to see some different expressions. The derived equations we are seeing, we are not going to see any derivation. We will see the derived equations. Now consider I naught, okay, and I naught prime. Okay, you try to identify here. I naught is the intensity of sound. Okay, it is the maximum intensity of the first sound source. Okay, you can write like this. It is the maximum intensity of first sound source. And what about this? It is the maximum intensity of second sound source. Okay, now here we are going to take a reference intensity. Suppose this particular source is going to create some 100 decibels of sound, and this one is going to create some 60 decibels of sound. Okay, this is for example only. Okay, now here in the room you will take the first source here, and you will try to identify we are going to take a reference point. What is the reference point here? We are going to take a intensity which is minimum. Let us take a common reference point as the point of reference as some 10 decibels. What is the meaning here? So this 100 decibel sound has been created, and we will wait for a time. We will wait here, and how much time we are going to wait here? Until the sound intensity is going to reach the 10 decibel sound. Okay, and here also this particular second sound is creating 60 decibel sound. That we are going to create the sound inside the room. Okay, and we will wait for a particular time period until which this intensity is getting reduced to reach a value of 10 decibel sound. Okay, so we are going to take a reference intensity. We consider this as the I minimum value. Okay, now here the same thing we wrote here. We wrote an expression considering a intensity which is minimum, and depending on the first source, the derived equation. So we can write this as the decay of sound. Decay of sound. The expression for the decay of sound in terms of intensity. Okay. Now here regarding the first source, the expression for the minimum intensity, we are going to write this as I naught. So what is I naught? I naught is the maximum value of intensity due to first source. You can identify here in this particular image. You can identify. So this is I naught. This is I naught prime. So I naught is regarding the first source, maximum intensity due to first source. So I naught prime is the maximum intensity due to second source. So now here we are going to give the expression for the minimum intensity in terms of the first source. So now here the expression is e power minus a s v by 4v into t1. So this is a derived equation. We are not going to see any derivation part of this. Okay. Now here this is the expression for the minimum intensity due to first source. Now similar equation we are going to write for the second source, and we are going to write the expression as I naught prime. Okay, we are replacing this one as I naught prime. E power minus, so the room is remaining same. We are not changing the room. But the reverberation time will change here. So we will write this as T2. So identify the expression. This is for the second source. This is for the second source. Now what I said in the earlier point, I mentioned that we are going to take a reference intensity as some 10 decibels in this particular example. So the same thing here, the minimum intensity is remaining same. The value of the intensity is remaining same in both the things. Okay. So now here you identify this as expression A, this one as expression B. So as these two sides, if you can refer to these two sides, both are I minimum. Both the values will be equal. Okay. If the left hand sides are equal means the right hand sides will be equal here. So now what you are going to write here, you will write this as from equation A and equation B. Okay, as these two sides are equal here, now these two sides will be equal here. So you can write this as I naught e power minus the same expression here, as v by v into t1 will be equal to I naught prime e power minus as v by capital V into t2. So here you need to identify about small v and capital V. So here small v is the velocity of sound in air, and this is the volume of the room here. the volume that is available. Now T1 is a reverberation time due to the first source, and T2 is the reverberation time due to the second source. And here this value is remaining same. So these factors are remaining same. Whatever the values I wrote inside the brackets, so these values will remain same. As the source is changing, in this first example, the first expression, you will get this as T1. And this is for the second expression, the second source here. So these values are going to change depending on the source here. Okay, the values inside the bracket will remain same. Those values are regarding the room as well as the velocity of sound. Now let us rearrange this particular expression here. Let us rearrange this. So how you are going to rearrange this? I will get this factor to this side. Okay, and here this factor, this particular expression, I am going to bring this side. So I can write this as I naught by I naught prime. Now here e
Your voice
power
break out.
minus break అవుతుందా? మేబీ నెట్ స్లో ఉండొచ్చు ఇక్కడ. నెట్ కొద్దిగా అప్పుడప్పుడు స్లో అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు వస్తుందా కంటిన్యూస్ గా? వస్తుందా? వాయిస్ వస్తుందా?
ఇప్పుడు ఓకే సార్.
Okay, okay. So let us continue here. AS small v, now 4v. So here you should have 4 here. I missed that v here, 4 here. So I wrote 4 here. This also 4 here. We substitute 4 here. And also replace the 4 here. Okay, now continue here. Into T1 divided by now e power minus AS small v by capital V, 4v, and into T2. I think, okay, this is T2, this is T2 here, because this side is T2. Now here this side is T1. Okay, now rearrange this factor. So what you will get here, this has ASV by 4v, here this has T2, and this is minus here. So if you bring this one to the numerator, you will get this as e power plus sign here. There will be a plus sign. Mute చేయండి, మ్యూట్ చేయాలి మీరు. Okay, now rearrange the factor here. Now you can write the same thing as ASV by 4v into T1 minus T2. Okay, so this is a resultant factor we got from this. So we can write I naught by I naught prime equals to e power. E is nothing but the exponent here. You need to identify here E is the exponent factor here, exponent. Okay, now if you want to remove the exponent, what you are going to do? I need to avoid this particular exponent factor. I want to remove this factor. So what you will do generally? Exponent తీసేయాలంటే ఏం చేయమంటారు? You are going to take the logarithm. Okay, log on both sides. You need to substitute the log on both sides here. Okay, then what you will get here? This side you will get log I naught by I naught prime. So now here you can remove this particular exponent factor. You can write this as ASV by 4v into T1 minus T2. Okay, now what is the thing we need to get? We need to get the expression for A. So this factor only we need to get. So you place only this factor and you bring all these terms to this side, okay. Now what you will get? Can you complete the expression? Now this side you will get this as log I naught by I naught prime. Now here what you are going to write? ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుంది చెప్పండి?
4v by
4v by 4 capital V by
v by yes sir.
S into
SV.
small v.
S into
Small.
V.
Okay. So that is the expression that we got regarding the second method. So in both the cases, we got the expression for A. Okay.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు
Mm.
T1 minus T2 ఏమైనాయి సార్?
Okay. You need to multiply here. I mean, as you are bringing this factor here, you need to multiply with inverse of this factor. Or else you can write divided
T2
by.
minus T1
Okay.
సార్ అది.
Here you need to find T1 minus T2. Okay. So either you can write here this as 1 by T1 minus T2, or else divide this one here. Okay. So that is the resultant
So,
factor. చెప్పండి.
4V by S into V ఇటు లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ కి 1 by T1 minus T2 ఇంటూ అట్లా రాసేయండి సార్.
అలా రాయొచ్చు కానీ మేబీ యూ విల్ ఫైండ్ ద ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఇన్ యువర్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లైక్ దిస్. A equal to 4V by SV. Okay. It will be like this in your textbooks. It will be like this: I naught by I naught prime by T1 minus T2. So usually you will find this expression in your textbooks. Okay. Now here,
ఓకే సార్.
okay. Now here what we are going to have the final expression here. Now we wrote the expression in terms of I naught and I naught prime. And this particular ratio can also be written in terms of power of sound as P naught by P naught prime. So here P is representing the power of the sound source here. Okay, so that you wrote in this particular text here. So P represents the power of source. Okay, source in the sense it is a sound source here. Now here we can replace this factor. Okay, this particular I naught by I naught prime you can replace with this, and finally you can give the expression of the absorption coefficient as A equals to 4 capital V by S small v here log P naught by P naught prime by T1 minus T2. Okay, so this is a final expression depending on the second method. So now can you give the important points here? What is the difference between the first method and the second method? What is the difference? Difference between the first method and the second method. So here the first method is the single source method. Second method is a double source method. Now what is the main difference? Can anyone answer that?
సెకండ్ మెథడ్.
Repeat your answer.
ఒకసారి సెకండ్ మెథడ్ చూపెట్టాను సార్.
Okay, second method is okay, Nisham, diagram. So you can refer here this side. Okay, this is the second method. Okay, now what is the basic difference what you had observed regarding first method and second method?
ఫస్ట్ మెథడ్ లో T1 T2 ఉన్నాయి సార్.
సెకండ్ మెథడ్ లో కూడా ఉన్నాయి T1 T2.
మెథడ్ లో I0 ఒకటి I0 ప్రైమ్ ఒకటి.
ఓకే, T1 T2 కూడా ఉన్నాయి కదా సెకండ్ మెథడ్ లో.
సెకండ్ మెథడ్ లో ఇంటెన్సిటీ మినిమం తీసుకున్నాను సార్.
ఇంటెన్సిటీ మినిమం మాక్సిమం అవి రెండు వాల్యూస్ తీసుకున్నారు. అది కాకుండా ఇంకోటి చెప్పాను నేను. ఇక్కడ వీఆర్ నేమింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ లేబులింగ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ డబుల్ సోర్స్ మెథడ్. Now here this is single source method. Depending on that I need to get the answer. దీని బేస్ చేసుకొని ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి. సింగిల్ సోర్స్ మెథడ్, ఇక్కడ డబుల్ సోర్స్ మెథడ్, దాని బేస్ చేసుకొని వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ దోస్ టూ? వచ్చిందా? ఆన్సర్ వచ్చిందా?
సింగిల్ సోర్స్ మెథడ్ లో ఒకసారి ఎంటీ రిమూవ్ తీసుకోవాలి, ఇంకొకటి ఫిల్డ్ రూమ్ తీసుకోవాలి.
ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. So in the single source method, first step is that you are going to take the empty room, okay, and you will find the reverberation time, and thereafter you are going to place the specimen, okay, whatever the material you are going to test, that you are going to place, and you will take once again the reverberation time. Okay, now what about the second method? What about the second method? So you are taking two different sound sources. You will take two different sound sources. Now inside the room, first you will place the first source, and you will find the reverberation time, and you will remove that particular first source, and you will place the second source, and you will repeat the experiment. And thereafter, regarding those two processes, you are going to find the intensity. You are going to measure the intensity. Okay. So now here, what is the thing regarding the second method? Regarding first step, if you are going to have the first step here, you will place the first source of sound, and you will find the reverberation time as well as the I naught value, the maximum I naught value, and correspondingly you will get the expression for I minimum. Okay, I can write like this. Okay, now here regarding this, now you are going to place the first source, you will find the reverberation time, you will find the intensity, which is maximum here, maximum intensity, and thereafter you are going to get the expression for the I minimum, and consider this as a first step. Now this is the first source. Now what is the second step here? You will remove this particular first source, and you are going to place the second source, and you will repeat the same process. You will find the reverberation time, you will find the intensity, maximum intensity, and thereafter you are going to get the minimum intensity. Okay. Now thereafter you will take the expressions I minimum for the first source and I minimum for the second source, and here you are going to take this as a fixed value. You will take a fixed value here. So in both the cases, the value of I minimum, we are going to fix this one. So thereafter you will get the left hand side, if it is equal, then the right hand side will also be equal. Depending on that concept, you are going to find the resultant expression for the absorption coefficient. Okay. Now any doubts regarding this particular absorption coefficient?
No, sir.
Please write there itself. Okay, no doubts. Okay.